Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the Committee of Adjustment meeting. I'd like to remind everyone as we get underway that this meeting is in person and online through Zoom and is being recorded. Everyone online will be muted with the exception of committee members and staff. All comments and questions are to be directed through the chair from committee members, staff, and the public. I'd like to remind committee members that you must speak into your microphone so everyone online and in person can hear you. For those attendees that are online, your video picture will not be displayed, and you will be muted and will not be able to unmute yourself during an application that you are not requested to attend unless you raise your hand. At the beginning of each application, I will call the applicant forward. The owner or applicant in attendance may come to the table to your right to speak with the committee. This microphone is live and you must speak into the microphone. If the owner or applicant is online, you will be unmuted. Committee will ask for comments from the public during each application. Please provide your name and address for the public record. All comments and questions should be directed to the chair and only speak when it's your turn. If you're in person and would like to speak to an application one at a time, you may approach the podium and speak. This microphone will be live. If you're on the video portion of the Zoom meeting and you'd like to speak and your microphone is muted, please click on the raise hand button located on the bottom of your screen. Staff will notify me that you wish to speak. If you're attending by telephone and you wish to speak, please dial *9 to raise your hand, which will signal staff that you wish to speak. Once a decision has been made concerning your application, you're welcome to leave the hearing while the committee continues with the next application. Members in attendance today are Todd Robertson, Bruce Craig, Paul Veenstra, and myself, Jim Keogh. Oh, I'm sorry, and Andrew Logan, who is online. Our staff in attendance are Senior Planner Lindsay Lambert, Planner Kyle Peel, and Secretary Treasurer Amanda Werner McKellar. First item on the agenda today is the adoption of the agenda. Do you have any committee members of any changes they wish to make? And Todd?
No, sir.
None here?
Nope.
Andy?
No.
Okay, and nor do I. So we need a move by Todd, seconded by Bruce, that the agenda be adopted as circulated. We're ready to vote.
Yes.
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 Andy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I am also carried. He's going to have to wake up. Second item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes from the May 26th, 2026 meeting. Any committee members of any changes or suggestions? Todd?
No questions or concerns.
None here?
Nope.
Andrew?
None from me.
Andrew, you any questions or concerns on the May meeting? Or?
Nope, none for me. Nope.
Okay, myself either. So it's approved. We need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Paul, seconded by Todd. That the minutes of the May 26, 2026 hearing of the Committee of Adjustment be adopted as circulated.
Yes.
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 Carried.
Yep.
I have to shake him every time. So declaration of interest, any committee members have any declaration, pecuniary or otherwise, on today's meeting?
No, sir.
None here?
None here.
Andrew?
Nope. None for me.
Yeah, for me neither. So first application on our agenda today is D13-2026-013989 Foster Bay Lane. Amanda, would you give us your story here?
Yes, and we have the owner or the agent, sorry, online who will be able to answer your questions. The application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with a two-story addition on the east side, totaling 115.8 square meters of gross floor area. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the adjacent water body, the minimum 30-meter front yard setback, and the maximum permitted lot coverage provision of the shoreline residential zone. Further, it is proposed to expand an existing legal non-complying dock by permitting a previously existing boat slip to be covered and converted to additional dock area. The existing dock is legal non-complying with respect to the following provisions: minimum 4.6 meter side yard setback, maximum area, and maximum width. Of note, the dock expansion occurred in the absence of the required municipal and agency permits and approvals.
Thank you. Kyle, would you like to give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with an addition to the south side of the existing dwelling, and further to expand the existing legal non-complying marine facilities. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying in relation to the required setback from the high water mark of Charleston Lake. However, the proposed development will encroach no closer to the high water mark than the closest point of the existing dwelling. Staff understand the proposed expansion to be limited and no undue adverse impacts are anticipated beyond what currently exists. Further, the scale of the proposed structure is in appropriate proportion to the existing legal non-complying dwelling. The existing lot coverage is 11.2%, which is non-compliant with the maximum of 10% permitted in the shoreline residential zone. And with the proposed addition, it is proposed to increase to 16.1%. The intent of the zoning bylaw is to ensure that buildings are appropriately sized and lots are not overdeveloped. The requested 4.9% increase in lot coverage beyond existing and 6.1% increase over the maximum of 10% is not anticipated to result in any negative impacts. Of note, staff received comments from the Charleston Lake Association regarding the subject application with questions about the septic system and whether the proposed development included a full demolition and rebuild or was an addition. To clarify, the building department collected a $215 septic review fee for this application, and they completed their review and provided comments that further review by a licensed installer would not be necessary. Further, it is confirmed that the proposed development is to be an addition, not a rebuild. As such, there is no opportunity to relocate the dwelling further back on the subject lot as requested in those comments. In terms of the marine facility, in staff's review of the overall property, it was flagged that the previously existing boat slip was covered at some point. As such, in order to legalize that work, we are bringing forward a permission to expand the existing legal non-complying marine facility. Staff have no concerns with that expansion and are willing to recommend approval. In conclusion, the Conservation Authority have submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards. The application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township, and planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Amanda, any other comments, public or otherwise?
We received the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections. And then to summarize, Charleston Lake Association, Charleston Lake Environmental Association, they sought clarification on the proposal. If the proposal was a demolition and rebuild, and expressed concern with the new build in relation to the 30-meter setback. They also sought clarification on the sewage system review and if a new system or review would be required, and expressed the importance of a state-of-the-art septic system being installed, maintained, and inspected. The Charleston Lake Association encouraged implementing measures to manage stormwater runoff, for example, improving the shoreline buffer zone with natural vegetation and the building's setbacks. And that is all the public comments we have received for the application.
Thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in the public audience that wishes to speak to this application?
We have no one online and no one in the audience looking to publicly speak to the application.
Okay, committee members, I'll start with you, Todd. Any questions for the applicant?
Yes, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. And through you, sir. Two questions, if I may. One around the existing septic system, and thank you for the clarification in your comments. But to you, Kyle, or to the agent, just confirming that the septic will have to be moved. Because my reading of the drawings and my observation on the site visit is that it's going to be where, if nothing else, the tank is going to be where the proposed addition is. So that's my first question.
I would direct that to the owner.
Can you hear us?
I've raised my hand. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, it's Mike Ferris here. The plan is to put a new septic system in, so it'd be farther away from the lake. I believe that, the current septic would be overlapping with the area of the extension. So brand new septic system.
Plus. Great, thank you. I appreciate that. Was my observation. My second question has to do with the dock. I just wondered if anybody had any idea how long that dock has been there. It looked like it was quite weathered.
I believe there used to be a boathouse on the property, which was identical to the property next door where they still have a boathouse. And there's a cement structure underlying the wood dock structure. And it looks to me that the cement was probably poured in the 50s for both our boat slip and the neighbors to the east. And when we moved in, we just decided it was unsafe. It was too narrow to use. And that's when we decked it over. So does that answer your question?
It does. So just again, any approximation when it was decked over?
Oh,
2009.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bruce.
I have no questions or concerns, and I'm pleased to see the new septic's coming in. That's always a plus. That's all I have for now.
Paul.
I have no concerns.
Andrew.
No, based on the recommendations and the clarification as to whether it was a rebuild or not, I don't have any objections myself.
Nor do I, and good to see they're putting in a new septic, so. Anyway, we need a mover and a second. Moved by Todd, seconded by Bruce. That applicant. I'm just Bennett here. Moved by Todd, seconded by Bruce, that application D13-2026-013 be approved, subject to conditions as included in the planner's report and decision of the committee. And we're ready to vote.
Yes.
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 Andrew.
Yep. Yes, sir. I
I am also carried. Next on the agenda today is D13-2026-014 508 Slack Road. So, Amanda, would you give us your spiel here?
Yes, and we have the agent in attendance today if you have questions. This application is requesting a permission to expand the floor area of the existing legal non-complying dwelling with an expansion of the covered attached decking. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to two provisions of the zoning bylaw, the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of Charleston Lake and the 30-meter front yard provision of the shoreline residential zone. The property was subject to a combined permission and variance application in 2025, which permitted the existing 72.2 square meter single-story dwelling to be expanded with a 34.85 square meter attached covered deck. Through the current application, the applicant is now seeking to further expand the size of the covered deck to include a 4.3 square meters of additional area.
Okay, Kyle, would you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with the expansion of the existing covered attached deck. The property was subject to a combined permission and minor variance application in 2025, where this committee approved a covered attached deck. Through the current application, the applicant is now seeking to further expand the size of the covered deck with additional area. The expansion will encroach no closer to the high water mark than the closest point of the existing deck, and it is the opinion of staff that the proposed expansion is limited. No undue adverse impacts are anticipated beyond what currently exists, and the scale of the proposed structure is in appropriate proportion to the existing legal non-complying dwelling. In conclusion, the Conservation Authority have submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards. The application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township. and planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Amanda, any other public comments?
We just received comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections. We've not received any further written public comments.
Thank you. Is there anyone in attendance in the audience today or online that wishes to speak to this application?
We have no one online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, start with you, Todd. Any questions for the applicant?
No questions, and may the tree that was previously sitting in that spot rest in peace. Pieces, probably.
Yeah, Bruce?
I have no questions or concerns.
Paul?
Yeah, nothing here.
Andrew?
No questions or objections.
No, nor do I. So we need to move in a second. Moved by Paul, seconded by Bruce. That application D13-2026-014 be approved subject to the conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee, and we're ready to vote.
Yes.
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 And I am also carried. Okay, next on our agenda today is D13-2026-015-946 Dunroven Lane. Who's phone? What, yours? No? Okay, Amanda, would you give us your story here?
Yes, I'm just setting up here. Sorry. Okay, and we have one of the owners online, and the agent is here as well if you have any questions. The application is requesting a permission to expand the footprint of the existing legal non-complying dwelling with an expansion of the existing attached uncovered deck. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of Charleston Lake, the 30-meter front yard provision of the shoreline residential zone, and the minimum required 3-meter side yard setback. The footprint of the existing dwelling and attached uncovered decking is 141 square meters and is proposed to be expanded with 9.3 square meters of additional attached uncovered decking. The property is currently developed with single detached dwelling with an attached uncovered deck, an accessory structure, a garage, and marine facilities and docking.
Kyle, would you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. This application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with the expansion of the existing uncovered attached deck. It is proposed to permit the attached uncovered deck to be located on the west side of the existing dwelling, and the structure will encroach no closer to the high water mark. Apologies, it will encroach slightly closer, I believe 0.6 meters. I was sort of just... okay, the proposed expansion is limited. No undue adverse impacts are anticipated beyond what currently exists, and the scale of the proposed structure is in appropriate proportion to the existing legal non-complying dwelling. In conclusion, the Conservation Authority have submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards. The application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township. Planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Amanda, any other public comments?
We received the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we also received a letter of support from Bill and Cindy Biker, neighbors. And that's all the written public comment we have received.
Well, thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in attendance today in the audience that wishes to speak to the application?
We have no one online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, start with you, Todd. Any questions for the applicant?
No questions. It seems to be a common sense expansion of the existing deck.
Yeah. Bruce?
Yes, this application truly minor in nature and a reasonable request. I have no concerns.
Paul?
Yeah, no, nothing here.
Andrew?
No, based on the assessment and the recommendation, it seems to be reasonable and within the bounds.
Okay, I have no objection either, so need a mover in a second. Moved by Bruce, seconded by Todd. Moved by Bruce, seconded by Todd, that application D13-2026-015 be approved, subject to the conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee. We're ready to vote.
Yes.
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 Yes, I am also. Carried.
Thank you.
Any other business?
The only other thing we added onto the agenda yesterday, Tracy has asked that I double check with you all to see if you're available for the volunteer gala on July 15th. And if you are, if you're able to just send Tracy a quick message to let her know if you're available. Normally it's a little bit later in the year, but this time they've moved it up to July. So we're hoping it still works for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
As long as you can see the roast beef from there. You're good. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. That was the last little bit of information we had.
So we need a mover and a seconder for adjournment. Moved by Paul, seconded by Bruce. That the Committee of Adjustment will adjourn to meet again at the call of the Secretary Treasurer. All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And I am also carried.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone.